This week I'm going to be sharing with you some super easy and quick recipes. This week's meals were actually the week of Christmas to New Year's, so a very busy time. So all these will be nice, quick, and easy, and I really hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and get started. This first chicken potato with Parmesan cream sauce was probably the most involved recipe of the week. However, once it's in the oven, it is smooth sailing. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and preheat my oven to 400 degrees. Then I have 5 potatoes here. These are all about medium size. I'm going to go ahead and cube these into nice small cubes just like this. Over to my skillet, I'm adding in some olive oil. I'm going to let that heat up while I season up my chicken thighs. I'm seasoning these with Italian seasoning, pepper, and salt on both sides, and then once I get those seasoned up, I'm going to transfer them over to my skillet. You do not have to worry about cooking these all the way through because they are going to go into the oven for a little bit. What you want to do though is just make sure you get that nice golden color on both sides. And then once you get the nice color on each side, you're going to go ahead and transfer that straight over to your baking dish. I did spray down my baking dish with some non-stick spray just in case. And I'm going to put my chicken thighs in a single layer. Back over to my skillet, I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm just going to let that melt down and add about a tablespoon of minced garlic into there. We're going to let that cook for about a minute or so. Now I'm adding in about 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to get that whisked in and then we're going to let that sit for just a minute before we add in our chicken broth. Now add in 1 cup of low sodium chicken broth. Make sure you add it slowly, whisking between each addition. Once your sauce has thickened up, go ahead and add in your seasonings. I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of thyme, a half teaspoon of basil, and then just a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Once you get that combined and your sauce is thickened up even more, go ahead and add a half cup of half and half. Now that that's combined really well, we're going to add in our cheese. I do have a half cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. Go ahead and add that in and get that melted down. Now that the sauce is ready, we're going to go back over to our baking dish. I'm adding my potatoes over the chicken in a nice single layer, just breaking apart the ones that are stuck together. Next, I'm adding 1 can of drained Italian green beans over the top. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and grab our sauce and just pour that as evenly as you can over the top of everything. Make sure you spread it around and try to get the potatoes covered up, that way they don't get hard in the oven. This cooked in my oven for about 35 minutes until my potatoes were fork tender. Here's what it looked like straight out of the oven. You just want to make sure your potatoes are tender. Your chicken should absolutely be cooked all the way through by now. And then you're just going to sprinkle the top of that with some more Parmesan cheese. I added about a half cup or so. This meal only took about 15 minutes to prep and get into the oven, so very quick and easy because it can just finish cooking in the oven and then you have dinner on the table. Up next, I'm making these turkey and bacon wraps. These are super easy and quick. I make these a lot when my husband's not home. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by cooking up a few slices of bacon. Once my bacon is done cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting my wraps together. First, I'm adding in some lettuce. Then I have 1 slice of mild cheddar cheese. I'm just breaking that in half and laying it down the center. Now I do have some deli turkey here. I'm just adding about 2 slices in here. I do break it up just so it fits a little bit better. Next, I'm adding 2 slices of my bacon in here. I did try to get off as much grease as possible. And I also sliced up a Roma tomato. I'm just going to add a couple slices in there. And then I like to roll these up really tight, that way nothing falls out. So I just kind of push everything to one side and then roll it up. And once I get it rolled up, I do stick some toothpicks in there just to hold it together until I'm ready to eat. I also made my husband one as well because he ended up coming home, but his just didn't have any of the veggies in it, and I just kept it really simple with the meat and cheese. And then this is what mine looks like when it's all done. I like to dip mine in some spicy ranch to give it a little kick, and it is a super easy meal. Next up, we're going to be making some BBQ kebabs in the air fryer. If you didn't know you could make kebabs in your air fryer, you can, and it's an amazing little hack. So I have 2 chicken breasts that I'm just cutting up into little cubes here. Once I get those all cut up, I'm adding them into a bowl, and I'm just going to add in some barbecue sauce to these. I'm using the sugar-free barbecue sauce, but you can use any flavor, any brand that you like. You just want to add enough to give your chicken a nice coating because you can add more later. I have these kebab sticks that I did soak in water, that way they won't burn in the air fryer too bad. You just cut them in half because these ones are super long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start adding my chicken on here. It doesn't matter how you do it, you just need to get the chicken on the stick and then the stick in the air fryer. You can also add on some veggies between the chicken pieces if you want to, but tonight I was just keeping it super simple. If you're using 2 chicken breasts, you will end up with about 5 of these half sticks, and they fit very well in my air fryer. So if you have a bigger air fryer, you can probably cook more at one time. But this is what they look like in the air fryer. I am just going to go ahead and cook these on 375 for about 8 minutes to start. After those 8 minutes, this is what they look like. I like to flip them over and then add just a little bit more barbecue sauce on the top. After adding my barbecue sauce on, I'm going to put those back in the air fryer for 3 more minutes on the exact same temperature. This is what my finished plate looked like. To go along with these barbecue kebabs, I just made a really simple salad with lettuce, tomato, cheese, and ranch dressing, and then my husband had some of this white macaroni and cheese. Last but not least, we're making this semi-homemade chicken Alfredo. I'm starting by taking 1 chicken breast, and this was a giant chicken breast, and I'm just going to slice this into smaller pieces, that way it doesn't take so long to cook. After getting that sliced up, I'm going to go ahead and season my chicken with some of this Parmesan ranch seasoning, as well as some garlic powder and black pepper on both sides. I'm making this meal as a one-pot meal, so over to my pot I have about a tablespoon of butter along with a little bit of olive oil. I let that heat up and then I'm just going to cook my chicken all the way through in here. Once my chicken was done, I just removed that onto a separate plate. And then I'm going to follow the directions on this nor Alfredo pasta side. Just adding the milk that it requires. I actually add a little bit more milk and a little less water than it calls for just because it makes it creamier. And I'm going to scrape the bottom of the pan really well, that way I pick up all of the drippings from the chicken, and then we're going to go ahead and cook that nor packet in there. At this point, the pasta is almost done. It needs a few more minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken back in. That way it can warm through while the pasta finishes up. Here's what my finished bowl looked like. We just split this down the middle. It was plenty for the two of us, and we added on some shredded Parmesan cheese with a little parsley over the top. This is super easy to make and takes almost no time at all, and it's perfect for if you're in a pinch and just need a quick, easy meal on the table. I hope you enjoyed today's easy, quick meals, and I also would love if you gave me a follow on Instagram if you haven't already. My name's right there on the screen, and I will see you guys back here on Wednesday.